Hello and welcome back to Roadwarden. We are back. We just entered this lovely village. I needed to recover because I'm still not ready to fight the skeleton, still not ready to take on that cave, so we will just see what this village has to offer. You reach the edge of the village, a cliff as tall as the wall. Beneath you, two creeks meet each other and form a gentle river. These are the trees we use to learn more about woodwork. Ella is smiling as he leans his back against the wall of a house. We plant new ones, but we'll soon have to bring wood from further away. Give the saplings a few years, or however long they grow, a decade. And this is where I leave the two of you, with your boring tree talks. Efren points at you. See me later if you need, I'll be around, I rarely hunt alone. The carpenter watches his departing companion with genial eyes. Well, there's work to be done. A new chair awaits me. He leads you to a humble working station placed at the edge of the square. The tools you notice are very simple, if not primitive. We don't have to talk about my trade, Jack. What brings you to us? And that's where we left. So, well, let's start at the top, I guess. I heard about the bandits. Have they caused you any trouble? He makes an awkward cut with a chisel and lets out a quiet shit. Starts with the plank with his thumb. Bandits, you say? Soldiers from the city have already taken care of them. He pretends that there are no bandits. No. Oh, I need to gain his trust. God damn it, everyone in trust. Why is everyone so insistent on trust? I'm trustful. I'm a trustful person. Anyway, Astarion, is he around? He halts his work and looks at you with an exaggerated frown. That's a weird question. You're the first road warden I've seen in, well, this season, I think. Did you check in the western villages? You'll get to Howler's Dell simply staying on the road. His right hand still holding a tool is now squeezing his stomach gently. People say Astarion has spent a lot of time in your village. You're hiding something. Insight check. Sorry, that's how this game works. He adjusts his shoulder cape and clears his throat with a grunt. People, aye? Well, there's some truth to that. But Astarion isn't here, and we don't know where he is. He took our coins, but for fair labour, he moved wares to other settlements, patrolled the roads, escorted an old woman to a druid and back. Did you know you can get good prices for iron at Howler's Dell, but even better at White Marshes? Seeing your luck, he turns away and rests his elbow on his workbench. His plans are his own problem, and I've no reason to believe he wanted to be found, nor can I help you. Thanks. Let's see. This village isn't much older than you are. What's its story? He probably raises a carving knife and gestures for you to look around. It may be a young village, but there's a lot to say. While his story is bloated with names, relationships, a step-by-step description of the growth of the settlement, and bothersome creatures, you get the gist of it. The settlers arrived here 25 years ago, soon after one of the 10 cities had fallen to the southern invasion. Most of them came from the capital, while some joined them along the way. They soon came to realize that none of the villages had enough space or the will to host a few dozen refugees. The folks of Gill Rocks used to have much kinder attitude towards strangers than they do now, and they offered the newcomers to stay at the beach behind their village. Yet there was nothing for them to eat other than what they caught in the saltwaters. They soon started their search for a land remote enough to not compete with the locals, and with the help of the kind folks from Gale Rocks, White Marshes, Old Pagos, and others, as Ella vaguely states, they received enough wood and tools to turn a scrap of this plateau into a clearing, then a camp, a hamlet, and finally a village. Fascinating stuff. Truly fascinating stuff. The tale is assisted by walking around the village, introducing you to the original settlers or their offspring, and showing you some of the treasures displayed in the houses of gatherings. A unicorn's horn found at the heart of the woods, blue rock that's shaped and hollow like an egg, and is darker inside, an arrow that hit a fright tip in an eye and knocked it down. Behind each of them there are names, stories, and memories. At the very end, Ila leads you back to his workbench, holding a hand on his conspicuous stomach. To give his throat some rest, he turns the topic around. And what are folks in Hovleven like, friend? Foggy says there are thousands of souls at the capital, and one can go their entire life still finding new faces in the crowd. Well then. What is it like? Maybe so. City feels lonely. Spend time with family and friends. Hard to get to know people. Everyone's so busy. One can easily find groups to hang out with. Hard to say. Yeah, people spend time with their families. Yeah, People spend time with their families and close friends, especially ones they work with. They are close to each other, but no soul knows what happens behind doors. In the evenings, the streets feel empty. Here, folks stay inside only to sleep or shag, and even that's not a rule. He adjusts his shoulder cloaks and smiled. That's the only way I know, but I like it. Cool. I'd like to learn more about Peninsula. Our tribe won't be much of a help here, he admits, while judging the harsh surface of a small plank. It was our parents who did all the travelling, and they did so while we were kids, or not yet born. Most of them are already gone, and most of us travel no further than to Foggies, and only when we have to. I've heard you had some issues with the Eastern Path. I wonder if he's going to tell me on this one. Does he not trust me? At first he gives you a bright smile, but then nods with a sigh. Aye. So our issues are so clear that folks gossip on them. I'm glad you came to our help, friend, but it doesn't feel right to admit that we need help from an outsider. He stands up slowly, walks away, and then leaps over one of the log-made tables and looks for something in the pile of wood. In this part of the land, there's always going to be something to do for a Roadwarden. He straightens up with a piece of charred wood in his hand and gets back to you. As he draws black lines on the workbench, he mentions a few names. Creeks, Foggies, Gale Rocks there. Here's the lake. The map is simplistic and doesn't align with your own understanding of local distances, but you follow his description without issue. The path from here to the south is getting too wild for us. He repines, making another few strokes. The merchants travel through the other route, through Howler's Dell, passing by Old Pagos. White marshes. Once they reach Foggy, they already have full stomachs and many deals closed, and when they travel back, they visit the same places again. Folks already know that trading here takes a long time. So you want me to give them an option to get to you first and move west without backtrackings, and do so all by myself? How exactly? Well, I'm sure you can find some help. He pats his stomach without noticing that he leaves a few black dots on his leather jacket. There's a few things you could do. Follow the eastern road and see if it's clear. Are there any safe shelters left? Any blockades to get rid of? Is there an overgrown path to burn? Maybe see if the road from here to the western crossroads is safe. Or if the carts could get through the heart of the woods, if you're brave enough. I hope you're a soul with sage judgment. Seeing your puzzled look, he rests his palm on the table with a shy smile. I know I'm vague, but I bet you already know more about these roads than I do, friend. His eyes return to the map, and after a moment of hesitation, he rubs an uneven line with his thumb. You've got to mention my pay. Ooh. How can I know if I'll be honest with you? How can you know if I'll be honest with you? Yeah, where would you like me to start? Screw it. Go to the shaggy set. That's oh Christ. Go to the shelter set. Freudian slip. Just at the side of the road. There's a ruined campsite west of Foggies. He makes a small circle on his map. Or you could go south to a cabin our elders built. He makes a larger square. It's halfway from here to the river. Take a look around, see what's their condition. If there's any beasts around, you can handle a few small creatures, can't you? I would like to think so. I'm working on it. Cool. Let's do it. Yep. He laughs, but not with his eyes. Forgive me, my friend, but you don't sound like someone with much experience behind him. I'll hit them. You're nothing like Asterion. He took pride in his self-reliance. Wow. Well, Asterion. How can I know if I'm being honest with you? He looks at you in silence, then clenches his stomach. Can't most likely, but the more news you bring us, the farther... Ooh, wrong button. The more news you bring us, the farther away from the village our foragers and hunters will be willing to roam. Foggy's boys as well. I expect sooner or later the truth will surface, and I advise my tribe to take a lesson from whatever we're about to find. Okay, you forgot to mention my pay. Let's finally get that off there. That depends on what you're about to do, The tribe has but a few dragons. To confirm his words, he enters the nearby house from which he picks up an old wooden case, crude in shape and with an unsightly engraving of a three-headed hydra on its lid. Inside you see maybe 24 dragon bones. Let's say you get a dragon for any news about cleared or blocked areas, and more if it takes real effort from you. Yeah, whatever. I need the money. I've got no room to negotiate. He flashes you with a wide smile and pats his stomach. You won't regret this. He then throws the charred wood, returns to his stool, and looks for his tools. Shelter in the west isn't safe. Better to stay away from it until the dust foxes move out. Oh, yeah, that's right. I've already done that bit. Dusk foxes. After he meets your silence, he carries on. I don't know what that is. You describe their looks and the threat they present as Ella observes the clouds, sometimes asking you to explain more. He finally squeezes his cloak and reaches for a coin that's been resting on the wood workbench. Well, it sounds like not as dangerous as a tribe of goblins, but it may be better for us to hunt them down in spring. We may need your help with them, or we may need your help then. For now, a single dragon bone will be fair pay for them. Thanks. Yeah, I'm rich. I'm so rich. Well, that's a start. Keep it up. I'll let you know if there's anything else. Thank you. Right. I'll see you later. Sure. Right, so that was Ella. Hi, Nick Clegg. Hello. Let's go to Ephron? Yeah, let's go to Ephron. He's lost his thoughts. Are you the only hunter around? But of course not. He takes a suspiciously long pause. 7 of us. The tribe is small. We have enough food without daily trips. If we catch too much meat, it spoils, so it's better to let the animals feel safe. You try to change the topic, but the man suddenly looks around and lowers his wolf's head. Well, there's just one issue. 3 of my friends left the village just a few days ago, and they haven't returned yet, but they should. Ella is growing worried. Let's see. Why do you think these hunters aren't back yet? He walks around from time to time looking at you with an open mouth, not sure how to start. He takes off his heavy cloak and looks you in the eyes. They left for a few days to seek and kill some big game, each of them a different one, then bring all of them for me to judge. Confident voice falters when he mentions his own part. The winner would have caught me the prey of the greatest size, rarity, utility, and the greatest threat. He turns away and lowers the wolf's mouth. Let's say I find them. What should I tell them? Have you no shred of optimism? Maybe they're fine. Just tell them to come home. We've got enough wood and food to start the next feast, and I have a hint of that an honourable guest may be welcome there. He smiles at you, and for a moment you think you see the wolf wink. Okay. Tell me more about these 3. They are hunters and fighters, but also close friends. If one of them was in trouble, the others would have done all they could to help. They've been a team for years, and we're planning to start a family this winter, you know? Their last big adventure before Dahlia's belly locks her at home. He gives you quite a tale of their deeds and features. Dahlia is the bravest of them, with strong legs. She has simply ways and looks for beasts in the open by the roads. Her hair is light, always tied in a single braid. Adman is a man who seeks paths and challenges. He believes that seeking knowledge is the peninsula will bring the tribe ways to survive hardships. He is smaller than the others, and knows more about dressing the wild game than any of us. His arms are small, so he often places traps. His hair is a bit darker than Dahlia's, but short, just like his beard. Vashel is not a man, though they were born with a prick. and wears brown and greens to blend in with the trees. They hunt like a gargoyle, hiding among leaves, jumping at creatures when it gets close. Because of that, they have often roamed in the woods, even those that are far away from the village. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Sounds serious. So, where should I start? He looks at you as if you're slow. I would have found them myself if I knew. Let the horse take you to the other settlements. Ask there. Wow. Well, I guess I won't find them then with that attitude. Okay. Let's see. This sounds serious, but if you want me to look for them, I still deserve a reward. Indeed. Isn't helping 3 young, strong souls enough? Seeking your luck as he raises his voices. Draws his wrong button again. Draws his obsidian-edged club and touches his chest with it. Then I will loyally assist you, friend, for your brave deed, and you may count on me on a day of great challenge. As he lowers his weapon, he winks at you, and others will be grateful as well. You know that. I'll tell you if I find anything. Cool. Thanks, friend. And if all you have is a tale of their dead shells, bring me something to prove it. A trinket, a weapon, a thing we can throw into a pyre. Okay, I'll try. Cool, right. Good hunting, cool. Right, let's go to Old Hava, the farmer. I don't know if this is a good idea. We follow the path between the fields, witnessing a one-sided conversation between Old Hava and a barely adult man. She orders him around and pointing at various plants, criticizing the sight of weeds and addressing the fancy clothes he's wearing. He observes his red-dyed boots and lets out a relieved sigh after your arrival. I better change, he mumbles, heading to the main square. The woman spares you a wry glance, then turns away. Focused on the struggling vegetables, she's the only person in the village who wears clothes made of plant fabric, but they're weathered and covered with decades-old patches. Her hands, clasped behind her back, are constantly twitching. You, back in my day. After another minute, you consider leaving, but she finally breaks the silence. You'd be crying in bed like a tot if you had seen the things I did at your age. Mock my years. I'm proud of them. She turns towards you and raises her shaking hand. My soul's still here, but fog is crawling into my shell. Yet you waste my time, stranger. What do you have for sale? We sold what we had. We're lacking hunters, and these, she looks at the wrinkled vegetables, will go into a stew if they're even worth picking. Without noticing, she grabs her left forearm with her right, but it doesn't stop the twitching. We always have a fish trap to spare. We make them just in case. A large basket put in the creek and wait a day or two until something swims inside. I'll sell you one for 2 dragon bones, and if you'd rather eat something right away, she carries on after a long pause, our cooks would spare you a roast grouse or a chicken. It'll be cold but fresh. We always have one. You never know when there are maggots in your supplies. And kids shouldn't skip a meal. You ask her to tell you more, but her patience grows thin. It's the best light roast in the north. We had plenty of spices to it, so spoil slowly. That's it. Fine, show me how this trap works. Right, well, I have 2, but I don't think it's a good idea. Oh man, I mean, I've only got 2. I've only got 2 dragon bone. I'm broke, so what I'll do is I'll buy this. I won't buy the trap, but I'll buy this. I'll buy the next one tomorrow. That's fine. Cool. She cracks her knuckles. Thanks. Right. Farewell. Yeah, farewell. Right. So I approach the shallow creek. They need to. I can. With the calming sounds of the waterfall around you, you observe the stream is clean as a spring. You need at least 2 pieces of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. In an hour, I'll remove the blood stains. Let's have a look. What equipment have I actually got? I feel like I've got something to sell, right? Nope. Gamson, magical helmets, rope, travel set, merchandise, iron scraps. I need to sell iron scraps. That's a good point. Right, I need to sell iron scraps. Yes. I remember now. That's some money to be made. In an hour, I'll move bloodstains. Oh my god, I got a little bit, but I didn't actually get a little bit because I'm so bad. Okay, cool. Right, so step away, I guess. I really need to just shelter. Can't sleep here, yada yada. Okay, so I need to go back to Foggy Lake for shelter. Yeah, that's all I can do, I think. That's all it's letting me do. So here we are, once again, preparing for the night. Yep, so we'll sleep. If I do this, if I rent, because I actually have the thing I can actually do, so is that gonna recover? Oh, let's find out. Let's find out what renting a space does. The shivers wake you. Foggy is standing by the open door, letting the dense fog in. With her back lit by a lantern, while she breathes slowly, her eyes are keenly observing the area, and after you focus, you hear the distorted shouts of Roman saurians. Fogs tend to get more common in the late summer, but the tribes of the Dragonwoods often see them as a bad sign. The wild spirits they carry are believed to impact both the visible and the invisible, and not in ways that help humankind. I allow the fog to touch my shell and fill it with Numa. Numa. How do I look? Oh, look at that. I've got 3 hit points. Oh my god, I've got 3 hit points. This could be the one. Let's see. I need food, so let's eat. Nom 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 nom. Lovely. So I've got 3 meals left. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right, let's. Time for me to go. Travel. Right, so we are going to. Let's see. So we need to go east. Not east. Idiot. South. We need to go south. We need to explore this area. However, this is the one, guys. This is the one. I want to go fight the skeletons. I want to go fight the skeletons. This is a really bad idea. Alright. Let's cast the spell. Boom. Spell. I need to face the undead. This is the one. I've got 3 hit points. I go in. I better prepare myself first. I go in. And wait, am I dead? You move up the corridor, heading towards the light. The skeletons are waiting for you to take proper stance, filling the chambers with the thuds of their feet. With or without flesh, your target blocks and dodges, making you fight as if you're facing a human. Not a bloodthirsty beast, you struggle to land any hit with the weight of your axe hardly compensating for all the parrying darkness and rattling. Your brave swings turn into a desperate fight for survival when a powerful blow reaches your back, sending you into the ground where you take a strong blow to your cheek. You crawl away before getting to your feet once more, seeking hope and starting anew. Finally, you end up surrounded with crushed and detached bones, hurting so much you have tears in your eyes. The corridors fall silent, your arms and legs bleeding heavily. You search your bags for bandages. Decide what to do with the corpses after I leave the tunnel. So did I win? I mean, I've got no health. You're on the verge of death and it affects your appearance. So did I win? Stay deep in the tunnel. And follow along the tunnel north. Enter the dark chambers ahead. While the chamber is in shambles, you recognize its unusual furniture. The sharpened stakes, shield-like tables for crossbow users, empty spear racks. If necessary, it could be the last line of defense for guards and diggers. Surrounding any beast or bandit determined enough to reach this end of the tunnel. God damn it, I keep pressing that damn thing. You're in front of a massive double-leaf gate, taller than 2 humans made of bronze. You're not sure if a single shell can even move it. I search the room. Let's do it. While there's plenty of furniture to look at under or push aside, the undead left little to no signs of their presence, as if they were idly standing for years. A small pile of candles and another much larger one of the candle stumps don't explain why the walking corpses would use light. Grab a few of the candles for later. That sounds a good idea. Take a look at the gate. It's made of sheets held by thick bars. The pictures impressed on the surface portray fishers and their catch, sea monsters covered with nets, falling harpies and working diggers. While it's doubtful it's made of a material worthy of turning into blades, it's priceless. You look through the keyhole, observing the continuing path and the clear sky with ease, despite the cobwebs. You take a deep breath of fresh air, then put the forefingers inside. Oh, I'm too weak. Ah, well. Okay, I go back to Nick Clegg. I think this is information though, right? I've got no hit points, so I can't do anything. But I am going to travel. I'm going to travel south. God damn it. The air is fresh, just as it was in the tavern. The light touches the road and shrubs, blocked only by the single willow, wild and untrimmed. You're by a lake too large for you to see its other bank, but the local soil isn't too fertile. There are only a few trees on the horizon, while the struggling bushes and grasses fight with layers of rocks. In the south, you see uninviting hills cut with tiresome roads. A grey rabbit is cleaning its fur near the brook, but the sound of hooves make it hop towards the nearest shrub. Right after it sinks into the leaves, you hear it squeal. Cut off quickly. Whatever its hunter was, it leaves behind only the rusting of the thicket and a trail of blood. You wait for a long minute with your hand on your axe, but the creature doesn't return. You relax a bit, then turn towards the stone statue of a young woman. I ride a bit closer to it. Such a monument would be better fit for a temple or a rich city folk's house. Here, without any cover, it's already losing its shape from the rains and dust. Chunks of the face and hair have already broken off. It has detailed eyes and human-like proportions, and the clothes are like fabric petrified by a spell. The statue carries the usual travelling equipment, a walking staff, a gambeson, Simple plants now covered by leaves. It's a shame to see it deteriorating. Indeed. So you observe its delicate face and broken fingers, the last bits of which still hold the staff. You wonder why someone would place such a thing here. Let's see. Seems a bit fancy for someone to just drop it off, right? I think it marks a place of great importance. There are no answers to find in the statue's absent eyes. Okay. I could get rid of these branches. Yeah. Or consider washing myself in the stream. The brook would hardly cover your feet, but you could sit on the pebbles and splash yourself with water. Now, I need some... No, I need money. I need money. I mean, look at the status. I'm in such bad shape. I wash my hands, face and neck. Yep. That's one little bit. And then I wait an hour to remove... Yep, still in bad... Your face is dirty. You seem exhausted. Your clothes are worn. I just need new clothes. I just need money. I can't wait to get enough money to sort that out, because I'm just... this has been like this since, like, the second episode. Okay, cool. Let's clear the branches. What for? There may be something valuable hidden beside. Locals may appreciate someone looking after their relics, maybe? You dismount and approach the bushes. You try to push them away, but their stems are thickened. Damn it. Tired of this. No potions. Okay, cool. Right, then I guess I will continue travelling and remember this place. I will have to come back to it because I need to heal. God damn it. God damn it. Vitality is always a problem. The valley is flanked by the hills. To the west, grasses and bushes blend into the horizon and turn into another part of the forest. The southern hills are grey and tall, with fortress-like rocks faces and crown of conifers. The northern ones have countless sand-coloured rocks, lumped together like piles of rubble and clay, bearing hardly any soil or weeds. The plants here are struggling. The grass is short and yellowish, sometimes dried out. The bushes have silver leaves like many plants from sunny areas. The mushrooms can't hide in the shadows, but as you approach one, you see it's growing from the remains of a dead bird, while others are covering old branches and other plants. They won't last much longer. It will be easiest to spot any larger beasts around. Cool. You'll have to squint to spot the first threatening creature. A runner is in the far east, close to the hills. Though it completely ignores you, walking around and observing the grass, looking for its next prey. You don't have to worry about it for now. There are boot prints on the road as well as in the short grass, fresher than even on the western roads. Since many mushrooms were cut away with a knife and you notice a few berries on the shrubs, you conclude it's a foraging spot for the people from the north, though there doesn't seem to be much food left. There are almost no prints leading farther south. I could try to forage for a bit. 2 bunches of wild plants. Nice. You let Nick Clegg keep itself busy while you walk around looking for anything edible. It takes a fair bit of time. You don't plan to carry around raw mushrooms and bugs, and the wild vegetables need to be washed before you put them in your bags. Finally, you find a few handfuls of plants, fruits and nuts. Next time, however, it's not going to be so easy, especially since the runner, a bird both taller and wider than you, observe you carefully. Yeah, I see what's happening. At first from a distance and circling around you. After about half an hour, you hear its piercing screech as the creature runs at you, shaking its beak larger than your head. You throw everything into a sack and get into the saddle. Yeah, let's get the French out of it and carry on. Carry on going. Well, hello there. The only tracks in sight belong to small critters. The cabin has no window, but a stubborn beast could easily burst in through the old thatch. The gust of wind doesn't move the door. A curious ibex observes you from the crag, but flees from your gaze. I check on the cabin. You tell Nick Clegg to the supporting beam. You tether Nick Clegg to the supporting beam. Curious eyes are tracking the crickets that jump around amongst the grass blades. You stretch your limbs, adjusting your armor, and reach for the axe. Let's eavesdrop first. Ooh. You sneak towards the door and crouch down. After maybe a minute, a quiet rattle comes from inside, something similar to the sound of cracking knuckles. You peek inside and just barely see a small part of the dusty room. A large spider web is spread amongst the knocked down furniture. I better grab my wand. Costs 3. Ooh. I mean, I have no hit points, so I should leave. But here we are. So we're doing this. You unwrap the linen sheet and grab the willow wand, still as smooth as on the day you bought it. The pointy carved twig is thin but heavy from the injected quicksilver. I walk in and aim at anything that moves. A spider looks at you from the center of the web. Its shell is larger than your head, and the thin legs are longer than your arms. Its countless hair blends in with the walls, that brown-grey cream. What do you do? Let me think. Example kick. I mean, if I do, I'm going to get killed. Can I cast spell? Can I cast spell? Okay, you aim with the wand while the spider skitters off, shaking the entire web. You realise the invisible wave, but fail to avoid the creature's spit. The stick ooze hits your eyes, covering them like a glued cloth. The sack of flesh smacks the floor. It clicks in agony. Your eyelids can't even blink. You hide the wand behind your belt and sit on the threshold blindly. I remove it gently. Okay, the saliva clings tightly to your skin, but stretching it with your fingers helps. The eyelids are the worst part, but you're grateful for your reflexes. At least you still have your eyes. You get to see the light slowly, then the shapes. The thing turns out to be grey and white. You stand up and look around. The room is covered with a thick layer of dust. Getting through the web could be risky. A single thread won't stop you, but a bunch of them could grapple you for good. Dancing buildings, let's see. So I think there's decisions to be made here and some stuff to do. So I will pick up on this next time because I'm intrigued because I feel like there's something in here that's worth getting. I don't feel like there's just nothing, okay? But we will come back to this next time and yeah, we'll tackle this spider shenanigans then. So thank you so much for watching and I will catch you then. Bye!